somebody put me on, very strong source in the industry, onto a stylist that Shannon Sharpe had, right?
Right.
And, they were just like, please just take a look at the stylist that he has with him that goes everywhere. I have never seen an artist travel with the stylist. Normally they order clothes if it's for events, but for a stylist to follow you everywhere to the point where they're dressing you morning, noon, and night for every show that you do, and they're sitting courtside.
He was, okay, that's his life. That's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood no longer styles me. Why? Because I'm loyal to Shelly. She was hurt that after 20 plus years of being my stylist, that I had gone outside to hire someone else. And
Shannon Sharpe made a business decision that, you know what? I'm going to front and center my Hollywood Simpson. I'm going to front and center stylist who has been connected to publicly with several former professional football players.
And you're facing some pretty serious allegations. You risked it all for a 19-year-old girl. How do you see this all playing out in court?
It doesn't matter. OKC, KFC, UFC, Shannon and Five. Hollywood, when I got Hollywood, I flew you out the next day and I said, I want to dress my age. Hollywood said, Uncle Shay, you called me Uncle Shay from day one. You said, what else you need from me? I said, I need loyalty and I need honesty.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a now, so.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Ooh, grab your popcorn, baby, because this one's juicier than a Real Housewives reunion with no commercial breaks. What do you get when you mix a loudmouth NFL legend, a former stylist who's not afraid to spill secrets, and receipts that refuse to stay buried? You get Shannon Sharpe's downfall, and it's coming in hot with no breaks. Let's set the scene. Shannon Sharpe, the man we know for barking on sports talk shows, flexing his designer drip, and never missing an opportunity to puff his chest, has just gotten caught up in a scandal so messy, it makes you wonder what else is hiding in those designer closets. Forget football commentary, forget podcast shade. This time, the headlines aren't about what Shannon's saying, they're about what he's been trying to hide. And honey, at the center of it all, his former celebrity stylist, yes, the Russell. Hollywood Simpson. Not just a stylist, mind you, a stylist with a story. And baby, he's not whispering, he's hinting, teasing, and now he's exposing. It's giving receipts, it's giving secrets, it's giving you tried to ruin me, now I'm flipping the script. So buckle up, because this isn't just some back and forth gossip. This is a full-blown takedown with screenshots, side eyes, and scandals that threaten to ruin careers.
Shannon Sharpe is always upset when somebody's saying that he's... Like, what's wrong? Even if you were or weren't, what's wrong with people labeling you? Like, is it that bad? Why does it hurt you?
I'd hire someone else. And someone else was getting the credit when she was there at CBS. She was there when I started at Fox. She was there when I was going out and doing red carpet events. And I never had a problem.
Only difference between Jay-Z and Shannon's situation, because he put Jay-Z's name in it because Busby tried to go after Jay-Z.
This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z.
Jay-Z from beginning to end said, I didn't do a thing.
Jay-Z released a statement, I would say almost like immediately.
Familiar with how Hollywood and the entertainment industry works. Anyone who has wet their finger and stuck it in the air and figured out how corporate culture works in America over the past decade knew that the wind is blowing in the direction of everybody who calls themselves an ally of the...
Let's rewind. Remember when Shannon was seen courtside at a Lakers game? But not alone, oh no. He was cozied up with Hollywood Simpson. And not just once, multiple appearances, public outings, red carpets. And for a man as image obsessed as Shannon, this wasn't a slip up, this was intentional. But here's the thing. Hollywood isn't just any stylist. He's openly gay, and he was allegedly the ex of another NFL star, Kerry Rhodes. So you know the internet put two and two together, right? Fans clocked it immediately. Wait a minute, is there more going on between Shannon and Hollywood than just blazers and bling? And suddenly, the rumors that had followed Shannon for years came roaring back.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice.
She was 19. 56, 54.
54, and she was 19 years old.
So listen, and crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. So yes, whatever they were doing at the time, according to Shannon Sharpe, it was consensual, but she's looking at it a different way.
But that's not against the law because she was of age. So even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
Now let's talk about those whispers. For ages, people have speculated that Shannon Sharpe might be on the down low. And every time the topic popped up, instead of brushing it off, Shannon would explode like clockwork. One commentator even pointed out, usually straight men don't feel the need to constantly prove their sexuality. But Shannon, he was always right on edge. Enter Mike Epps. The comedian didn't just shade Shannon, he dragged him. Apparently, Shannon invited Mike to his podcast and Mike shut it down hard. According to him, he said something along the lines of, "I'm not pulling up so you can sit across from me and stare at my balls, WHW." Did it get hot in here or what?
And I got upset about, and he told a story. Shannon Sharpe did not DM me to come on the show. I DM'd him.
I'm not gonna lie, I did DM you to get on the show.
So we going back and forth in the DM. He says, bro, let's just have fun with this. I said, F no. I said, tell me the fun with you lying on me, saying I cross-dressed and I look like
Shay. I don't know what grown got a name named Shay, but and Shay, you did look like Medea sitting there. You was looking zesty. I'm not
Shay, the nigga on you. Put a wig on and tell me if that ain't my sister.
Medea. Tell me where's the fun for that for me. I get it for you. You get the key. You get the laugh.
Now, instead of laughing it off or keeping it cute, Shannon went into defensive overdrive. On his Nightcap podcast, he clapped back with venom. He said Mike was lying, claimed he didn't care about being called gay, but no one was gonna lie about him. And then came the threats. "Say my name again," Shannon said, "and I'm dropping the DMs." Oh, it was on. Shannon was not playing, but in trying to shut Mike down, he only cranked the heat up. And honey, the internet noticed.
Did you set The thing is, Dion, what I don't get people's like, well, you did that for clout. So you really tell me I'm willing to risk my good name, my reputation.
Thank you.
I work for Disney.
Yeah.
Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Risk that, my reputation, embarrass my family, and all the potential monetary ramifications that comes along with it. For what?
No, I get it. And I'm just saying, people were saying that they was out there like, maybe he did that because they was like, he was trying to sell product, or that he was trying to tell people, trying to prove that he wasn't.
Just the one thing I know about people. Once they've made their mind up on something, you're not getting them off that.
Because let's be real, if Shannon really didn't care about the rumors, why was he trying so hard? Why the threats? Why the shouting? Why the desperate energy? And then came the switch up. Shannon cut off Hollywood, fired him, cold, just like that.
Hollywood, at that point, he was, okay, that's his life. That's not mine. Hollywood no longer styles me. Why? Because I'm loyal to Shelly. She was hurt that after 20 plus years of being my stylist, that I had gone outside to hire someone else. And someone else was getting the credit when she was there at CBS. She was there when I started at Fox. She was there when I was going out and doing red carpet events. And I never had a problem. And for me, in my head, I thought I needed someone outside.
Right.
I didn't buy one thing new when Hollywood started styling me. Everything, all those LB jackets, all that stuff that I already had it. And a lot of the stuff she had already put together, but I took it apart. So when he put it back together, it was just what she had put together.
Shannon made this big old statement talking about loyalty to Shelly. Claimed that when Hollywood came in, he didn't even buy new pieces, just reworked what Shell had already styled. Then came the dagger. Shannon told Hollywood, "You did an amazing job, but I'm going back to Shell because this is hurting her." And Hollywood did not take that well. Who would? But if Shannon thought that was the end of it, oh baby, he played himself.
Shannon Sharpe made a business decision that, you know what, I'm going to front and center my Hollywood Simpson. I'm going to front and center a stylist who has been connected to publicly with several former professional football players. Why do I call that a business decision? Because anyone familiar with how Hollywood and the entertainment industry works, anyone who has wet their finger and stuck it in the air and figured out how corporate culture works in America over the past decade, knew that the wind is blowing in the direction of everybody who calls themselves an ally of the LGBT.
Hollywood came back swinging. He started slow, just little clips, little proofs. Shannon on camera, gushing about how Hollywood made him look fly, called him the best stylist in the world, said, "Nobody can stop us, Shay Sharpe and Hollywood, a duo they can't be stopped." And then Hollywood posted a clip with a very suspicious caption, "We ending the game." Then he added another one, a little more intimate. "When I got you, I flew you out. You called me Uncle Shay from day one. I asked for loyalty. Loya El Tai," the subtext loud. And at that point, it was clear Shannon didn't just drop Hollywood. He tried to bury him. But Hollywood wasn't going down quietly.
Hollywood, what you gonna do with this?
Then came the infamous IG Live slip, oop. On September 11th, 2024, Shannon Sharpe's phone suddenly went live on Instagram. No video, just audio. But the sounds, very personal, very suggestive. Fans were gagging. Shannon tried to claim he was hacked, but then he changed the story. On his podcast, he said he accidentally went live while doing something private. Be serious.
We're gonna drop some bombs. Tick on that.
If they ever said something about me, take it to the bank.
The bank. You are the North Star for athletes.
But I'm three different people. ESPN First Take on Club Shay Shay, and I'm Shannon Sharpe that you see on Nightcap.
You got three different versions of yourself, but it's the real Shannon suffering behind it all.
Cam, to be honest with you, probably the real Shannon is none of those.
He eventually confessed it wasn't a hack. That he tossed his phone on the bed and it just started a live stream? Nah, fans weren't buying it, not even a little. Because to go live on Instagram, you have to open the app, swipe right, swipe left twice, and then tap. You don't just stumble into IG Live like it's a pothole. And who was watching all of this unfold? Hollywood. And he had thoughts. He started with subtle jabs, vague IG stories. One read, "Staying silent is the hardest thing I've ever done." Another one, "Don't push me." Boop. The shade wasn't even cryptic anymore. It was direct fire.
Shannon Sharpe is always upset when somebody's saying that he's like, what's wrong? Even if you were or what's wrong with people labeling you, is it that bad? Why does it hurt you? About maybe a year and a half ago, you know, somebody put me on, very strong source in the industry, onto a stylist that Shannon Sharpe had, right?
Right.
And, you know, they were just like, please just take a look at this stylist. The stylist that he has with him that goes everywhere. I have never seen an artist travel with a stylist. Normally they order clothes if it's for events, but for a stylist to follow you everywhere to the point where they're dressing you morning, noon, and night for every show that you do, and they're sitting courtside with you at every damn basketball game as if you Keisha Kayor and Gucci Mane. And this particular stylist, shout out to the Hollywood Mugler, because that's why he got his comments off, because he would put up videos of him with Shannon and he would always be focused on Shannon's crotch area or like, these are facts. And the same stylist was exposed for exposing another NFL player for being down low.
If you thought Shannon Sharpe's stylist drama was explosive, baby, that was just the pre-show. Because the moment Hollywood hinted he might join a Bravo reality show, things went from messy to full-blown sabotage. Hollywood was reportedly in talks for a full-time cast spot, a golden ticket. Cameras, confessionals, fame, the kind of spotlight that could finally let him tell his side. But guess who allegedly stepped in and shut it all down? Shannon. Sources told Tasha K that Shannon was actively working behind the scenes to block Hollywood's Bravo debut. Not because he cared about the show. Oh no, he was terrified of one thing, the truth. Imagine giving someone front row seats to your private life, then watching them about to step on a platform with millions of viewers. Shannon panicked. According to Hollywood's team, he wasn't worried about Bravo. He was worried about a mic in Hollywood's hand. So, poof, the opportunity vanished, and fans were furious. This wasn't just a coincidence. This was a power move, a way to silence Hollywood, a way to erase everything they had. And honestly, it worked for a while.
And you're facing some pretty serious allegations. You risked it all for a 19-year-old girl. How do you see this all playing out in court?
It doesn't matter. OKC, KFC, UFC. Shannon and Five.
But Shannon had no idea that while he was trying to silence one storm, another was brewing, and it was about to destroy him. And known only as Jane Doe, stepped into the spotlight with accusations that sent shockwaves through the sports world. And just like that, Shannon's crisp ESPN image shattered.
Shannon Sharpe says he's temporarily stepping down from his ESPN duties. He says his allegations against him are, quote, false and disruptive. Sharpe has denied all allegations. A representative for the plaintiff could not immediately be reached for comment.
He tried to stay ahead of the flames with a statement, temporarily stepping down to focus on family and fight false allegations. But nothing could prepare fans for the details that followed. Because this wasn't just scandal. It was dark, it was disturbing, and it was graphic. Jane Doe claims Shannon controlled her, threatened her, and even secretly recorded their intimate moments without her knowing, and then, allegedly, shared them with others. She pointed to two specific dates, October 2024 and January 2025, where things got extremely serious. But Jane's lawyer, Tony Busby, called it what it was, a media stunt. He said all of those messages were from before the assault, and Shannon's team was trying to twist the timeline to make it look like Jane was down for everything that happened later. According to Busby, that dog collar talk, that was months before. And after that, Shannon allegedly crossed serious boundaries. Then came the age bomb. Jane was 19 when they started dating. Shannon, 54. Fans were shocked. Yes, it's technically legal, but morally, Twitter lit up with disgust. People asked, what does a grown man with grandchildren want with a teenage girl? And then the worst part dropped, the audio. A chilling recording was released where Jane told Shannon, don't manipulate me. His reply, say that one more time and I'm gonna choke the F.A. out of you. Let that sink in. She responded softly, I don't wanna be choked. And Shannon allegedly said, yes you do, and I don't think you have a choice. Fans were horrified. This wasn't role play anymore. This was real, this was violent, this was abusive. And yet, Shannon didn't stop there. He clapped back hard. He posted a video statement claiming this was all a setup by Tony Busby. He accused him of targeting black men, saying Busby tried the same thing with Jay-Z. Shannon said the 30-second clip was taken out of context and challenged Busby to release the full video. Claimed he didn't have the whole thing himself, but if he did, he would have posted it already. But the public wasn't swayed. Even some of his fans started asking, if it was taken out of context, why not release the rest? Why settle? Because yes, Shannon's team allegedly offered Jane $10 million, 0 cents to settle quietly. And that's what made everything even more suspicious. Jay-Z, in a similar case, had publicly said, if I'm guilty, take me to jail. But Shannon, he tried to write a check, and fans noticed. So now, let's take a step back. You've got a fired stylist dropping cryptic threats, a sabotaged Bravo deal, an IG Live accident that fans still don't believe, explosive legal accusations, chilling audio, and a $10 million 0 cents attempted payout. The math isn't Matthew. The optics, horrible. And while Shannon tries to play the victim, more people are starting to believe Jane and remember everything Hollywood hinted at months ago. Because if Jane is telling the truth, and if Hollywood is still holding on to secrets, Shannon Sharpe's downfall might not just be happening. It might be only beginning. Be only